Hi everyone, my name is Chris Mutuma from eKitch Programming. In this video, we will look at JavaScript object methods. Without further ado, let's begin. So what is a method? A method, or rather what are methods? So methods are actions that can be performed on objects. So they are actions that can be performed on objects. When we were looking at string methods, we encountered this same definition. So a method is a function stored as a property. All right. But now we are putting now things into perspective in object methods. A method is a function stored as a property. And we saw in our previous video where we were creating JavaScript objects using an object retrieval. We talked of an object, right? And how we create an object. And this object contains properties and values. And here we are defining a method as a function stored as a property. All right. So guys, I have my Visual Studio Code editor open and my web browser here with the live server. All right, this is my live server that is active. So now I'm going to create a comment here, and here now we'll be creating object methods. All right, object method. So that's what we are going to be creating. And guys, when we looked at our previous video on JavaScript objects, we talked about the keyword const. All right, so it is good practice or best practice to use the const keyword to define an object. So here we are going to define an object car. All right, so it's the normal way we use the keyword const. We give our object a name, then we use the assignment operator, and then we use our curly braces. All right, then I'll do a line break, and then I'll start typing the property name, and all right, then I can even put a space there, put a colon, then inside quotation marks we are going to do now, and a comma, we are going to do the name. So we are going to look at Ford Mustang. All right, then we are going to look at the model. Okay, don't forget to use a colon here, and then here it's 2021, and then the last thing is color. Oh boy, I always forget that. And then do silver. All right, let me just use title case silver. So guys, don't forget to always terminate your statement with a semicolon. So guys, this is how we create an object. But now inside this object, I want us to create an object method. So, and we've defined and said a method is a function stored as a property. All right, so here we are going to create a property with where I want us to get the name and the model. So I'll call it name model. All right, and then here guys, if you've noticed, I'm using camel case. The second word in my property name the first character begins with an uppercase. So then we write the normal way we do functions. Guys, I know we've not covered functions. We are going to cover functions, right? We are going to cover functions in a later video. But for this now, it's for illustration purposes. Return this dot name. All right, this dot name. Then we use our concatenate operator, which is the plus. All right, then use empty string and create a space. This is to create the space between the name and the model. This dot model. All right. So when we do that, we terminate that with a semicolon. Now outside the object, we are going to console.log All right. Or rather, let me not jump the gun here, guys. Let me just explain what I've just done here. So I have declared a name, or rather, what you can. Okay, you have to use a comma. Sorry for that. So I've declared a function, which is now what we are referring to as an object method. So when you declare, or rather, when you insert a function inside of an object, it becomes an object method. So you give it a property name, which is name model, because you want to get the name and the model. So you want to results to be Ford Mustang 2021. Then the normal way that you create a function in JavaScript, we are going to look at that in another video. And then we use the return keyword. All right. And then there is this keyword. Okay, we are going to see what this means. Now the this keyword refers to the owner of the function. So who is the owner of this function name model? The owner is the object car. All right, so it is the same as saying changing this and doing here car and here car. Okay, but now guys, you can see it is a better way, you know, it's a better way of doing it, just using the keyword this, which now refers to the owner of the function. So this is the car object that owns the name model function, the name model function here. All right, so now let's look at this. That is just creating an object method. So the next thing we are going to look at, so that now we'll be able to see how we can do different things with this object method, accessing object method. So how do we access the object method? So we can access the object method through a syntax. All right, and this syntax is we going to use that is the object name. All right, we're going to use the object name, then our dot notation, and then our method name. All right, so here in our case, our object name is this car, and our method name, it is the name model function. All right, and always remember to put that, all right, to put your curly braces. If you omit, or sorry, you put your parentheses. If you access a method without the parentheses, it will return a function definition. All right, to define a function definition rather than giving us the correct result that we wanted. And when we talk of the function definition, it is going to give us this part here. So we are going to see that as we proceed. So now let's access using this syntax. I'm going to comment it out so that doesn't throw an error when we are running our code. So I'm going to declare a new variable here, and I'm going to call it let's see, just use anything. All right, and then do the object name as we've said, then the method name, which is new and model, and then we make it a function. Make sure that you include the parentheses. All right, then we are going to console.log, console.log, and then here we are going to log now our new variable. All right, so if you save that, guys, you can see now I have an quote type error. car.newModel is not a function. All right, where did we go wrong here? This name model, not new. All right, because this is what we want to access here. It is not new but name. Sorry about that. Apologies. So we save that. Now you can see, guys, we are getting Ford Mustang 2021. So now let's see if now we access the same method without using parentheses. So let's say result equals car.name statement using our semicolon and then console.log our results. Let's see what we get. Oh, okay, this is car. Now you see, guys, this is what we call a function definition. All right, so you can see it is giving us the function definition. All right, this is a function, and this is return this dot name plus concatenation here, the operator, and this dot model. So always make sure that you include the parentheses when you're accessing your object method. All right, so having said that, that was a good one. Now let's look at adding a method to an object. Adding a method to an object. How do we go about that? So adding a method to an object, guys, we saw how we can add a new property to an object in our previous video. But here now we want to add a new method to an object. Okay, so what you do now, you use a syntax where you do object, the object name, then again use a dot notation, then now the function, or rather the property name, let me call it that, the property name, the one that we want, the name that you want your method to be the property name of your method rather. So an example now, like name model. All right, so that's a property. So give it a property. Let's say, for example, we want to get name. All right, we want to get model, and we want to get the color. All right, then we do our assignment operator, then we do a function. All right, and then our curly braces. Remember to terminate your statement every time. Then we are going to return. All right, so let me just copy this part here to save time. All right, we're going to return this dot name plus this dot model, and then again that, and then we do our empty string, and then this dot color. Okay, I think I've done mistake here. Yes, so that's correct. So now we have added this model, or rather this object name. Okay, the object name is not defined here. Yes, so I need to change this to car. Thank you. So this means now, guys, we are getting now to add this function, or this method, to the object car. So let's see how we can see this. So we can console.log, all right, car dot name model color. All right, so guys, you can guess what we are going to get. We are going to get Ford Mustang 2021 silver. All right, so meaning that we have been able to add our method to our object. So we can even just run that and see what we got here. So we have our objects here, guys. Okay, let me see. We are dealing with the constructors. Okay, we have our objects here, guys. We have the name model, and then we have the name model color, the one we have just created here. These are our methods. Okay, so let's see. That's in fact that's all I had for this video. It's just a short one to look at object methods. And again, guys, we can also use inbuilt methods like converting these strings to uppercase as well. You can do that by including that. For example, here we can do dot notation to uppercase. All right, and then now when you save that, you're supposed to get this in all caps, right? So ideally, if you want to add any other input method, you can just use the dot notation and you will get the results. Okay, again, we could have done it here. Just put this inside our parentheses and then we do dot to uppercase, all right, something like that. So still you can see we are getting the same results. So guys, that's all I had prepared for you for this short video on JavaScript object methods. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one.